business to go to another level. You must try to learn and hear something new. So make the change today. So don't procrastinate and see your business grow and change. So check out Drastic Results, yeah, with Tony Harris Taylor. Tony Harris Taylor. Drastic Results, oh yeah, with Tony Harris Taylor. Yeah.
Welcome to the Marketing Strategies for Drastic Results show. My name is Tony Harris Taylor, and I am the CEO and founder of Drastic Results Marketing and Sales Coaching, where I help entrepreneurs and franchise professionals to get known, get connected, and get paid. We like getting paid, don't we? And then I'm also a multi-unit award-winning, see them awards over there, franchise owner with Network in Action, where we bring business owners together to build relationships that last a lifetime. Today, our guest is Lizzie Young with DevHub, and we're going to have conversations around websites and showing up online. You know, show up is my saying, and I always say the first key to success is showing up. And it's not just in person, it's also online. So I'm going to share my screen and talk about my website. And Lizzie is in the background, so she may have something to add. But I actually want to share my website, the fact that I have a website, because the first thing most people say when I say, do you have a website? Oh, no. It needs updating. By the way, you want to use this time, the first of the year, to make sure you get everything updated. So my website is drasticresults.com or tonyharristaylor.com. It takes you to the same spot. First thing I have is an opt-in form. And the opt-in is to get into my autoresponder series. So I give away a gift, a book called Networking Strategies for Drastic Results. It's an ebook, and there's some chat GPT stuff in there. See, we passing business cards between us and AI. So I'm going to close that out. And then here is my website. And I'm pretty proud of my website. I have done some tweaks to it, and I'm going to continue to tweaking. It's one of those things that's never ready yet, but you're going to keep tweaking it. And I have a clear headline, who I am, immediately a call to action, book an appointment with me, book Tony to speak, coach with me, my additional services, my franchise page. And so this is my website, and I know that Lizzie's going to have a lot to add when it comes to websites. It's particularly websites for franchising and congruency, but it's more about Tony. Now I need to update this picture, because it's a couple years old. So maybe when you see this and go there, it's already been updated. And then some of my videos to watch me speak, because I can be hired as a speaker. And then my landing page, so I'm going to see if I can change my tab, and if it will change, it will not. So I've got to stop sharing. Actually, I'll go back here. My landing page I attached to the website, and that's my franchise landing page. So now for the franchise profession, they can see who I am. Got another big headline: teacher franchisees, networking and community outreach strategies to increase revenue immediately. Lots of schedule appointment buttons. The pain points are here. Testimonial videos. I have 100 LinkedIn recommendations. So everything they need to know about me, to at least schedule an appointment, is here. Are you showing up online? That's the question. And that's what we're going to talk about today with my new friend, Lizzie Young. When we come back, Let's bring Lizzie to the stage to talk about online showing up. We'll be right back. All right, we're back with Miss Lizzie Young with Dev Hub. She's the growth marketing manager for Dev Hub. And so welcome, Lizzie.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Tony.
You know, we just met and
Yes.
I feel like I've known you a long time. And
I
it's so
know.
cool when you can just make those instant connections. Would you agree?
Yes, definitely agree. And even I've already told so many people about you as I'm coming across more people in the franchising space. And I say it like I've known you for a long time. I'm like, yeah, my friend Tony, I'll connect you with her, even though we just met last week. But I mean, again, like you always say, that just goes to show the power of networking, and franchising specifically is such a tight knit community that it does feel like that when you meet someone and everyone's so open, so willing to help. It's not like a dog eat dog world like many other industries are.
Yeah, I'm finding that myself, and I'm really getting my relationships growing in the franchise space, and so I'm happy to know you. So tell us your story. What's your background? How long you been in the franchise space? How'd you get to DevHub?
Yeah, I've been in the franchise space since I graduated college. So my whole career so far, for the most part, took a little break, but I never really stopped, because even when I took a break from franchising, I was freelancing for franchise brands. So, you know, ever since then, I really immersed myself in the industry, because I realized that right away about franchising. And even the companies I worked for in the industry, they would always say, you know, franchising is like a family. And when I first started, I thought everyone says that, you know, whatever. And as I got to know the industry more, I was like, oh, wow, there really is something here. I became more active on LinkedIn. Most of my background, it's in marketing and PR on the franchisor level, as well as the franchisee level. So a lot of what I do in my past roles is just interviewing franchisees. Almost every day, I would get to talk to the franchisee themselves, learn about their story, what drove them to entrepreneurship, what drove them to this franchise specifically, and then what they've done to grow their location since.
Very good. And so, how'd you get over to DevHub?
Yeah, so I came across DevHub. Actually, I was looking for a new role, and I searched specifically for franchise marketing, because that was the one thing I knew. I wanted to stay in the industry. I didn't at the time have much of a preference if it was with a supplier, if it was with a franchisor. I just wanted to stay in franchising, and I was so lucky to meet my boss, boss Mark Michael, who's the CEO and co-founder of DevHub. I applied for the job. I emailed him right away. I was like, let's hop on the phone. Let's talk franchising. And, you know, at the time, DevHub has been around for 16 plus years. They've been around forever, launched over 280 brands, but they're really honing in on franchising. Just when I was coming on board, they're like, we want to put our name out even more in the franchise industry. We want to get out there. We want to talk to these franchisors. How can we make that happen? And I said, you know, speak no further. You found your girl. I've got this. And ever since then, that's been what I've been doing in DevHub. I've just been getting us seen more in the franchise industry, doing a lot of research, speaking to franchisors to see, you know, what those gaps are. Because I've worked on lots of franchise websites before in my past, but I want to hear from them directly. What are their pain points from their marketing teams, with their partner agencies, whatever it may be? We want to fill those gaps, and we're constantly learning, just like any business. There's always room for improvement. It's never done. It's never a done deal. Your business and your website, both of them, never done.
So, what are some of the pain points you hear in the franchise community around their websites? And
Yeah, well, the franchise industry it's different from a lot of other industries, because you have the franchisor level and then you have the individual franchisees. So it's really important to get those marketing efforts in sync, to all be on the same page. And that's where we see a lot of discrepancies happen, not only with the website, but with listings as well. Because sometimes, you know, The franchisor will make the website. The franchisee will be in charge of the Google listing. Sometimes they don't always match up, whether they like update the hours on one and not the other, or whatever it may be. There are a lot of discrepancies, or even on local listings, what we see sometimes is the Google business profile will say, visit our website for this location in Chicago. You click on it and it goes to the corporate site. So then you have to go find the location again, get to that local site. And it's just more steps for the customer. And it can mean the difference sometimes between them choosing you and them choosing a competitor. So that's so important. And the other big thing we see, especially as franchise brands scale, is they'll build their website out on a platform. Then they'll realize that platform maybe wasn't built to scale. Once you hit a certain number of locations, you realize we can't keep up with it anymore. Maybe their team is doing it in-house, but their team has so much other stuff on their plate. And people, I don't think, realize how much goes into a website. It's not just you build it, it's done. Never. You're never done with your website. And if you think you're done, if you're watching this, you're not. Like you said, that's the first thing I hear too from everyone when we ask about the websites. They say, oh, this needs updating. And if they don't say that, they probably just don't realize it, but it does need updating. If you're watching this, your website needs updating. And it's not just the obvious. It's not just the content on the website. There's so much on the back end, so much to keep up with SEO. And, once your SEO starts falling in your local markets too, like your franchisees are going to take that hit as well. So Google's constantly releasing new changes, new core web vitals you have to keep up with. And if you don't, not only will your ranking drop, but with certain things like, for instance, ADA, accessibility, if you don't keep up with that, you can actually get sued if your website isn't accessible, if it doesn't meet the guidelines. Brands have gotten sued for that before, and you don't want to, you obviously don't want to end up there. You want to give your franchisees the best support system, the best marketing, and everything. When you think about it, everything in marketing tied back to your websites. You get a PR placement, they're going to go, here, go visit their website. Yeah. Whatever you do, you have an ad placement, it's going to go back to the website. Social media, back to the website. And that's the first thing people use, when let's say they want a burger, they Google burger place near me, they find your website and they look at it. So it's just an incredibly powerful tool, not only as far as the first impression, but as far as conversion. And that's especially true depending on your industry. It's especially true when it comes to service industries. With customers, they have to fill out a form, they have to put in an inquiry. And if there's any sort of lagging on your website, if it's just not connected, if your franchisee isn't on board with it, and maybe they're not receiving the inquiries or they're not responding fast enough, and there's any sort of failure in your system, you're losing out on customers.
So yes, I like the point where you said everything points back to your website.
Yes.
And this video cast is made for both solo entrepreneurs all the way up to franchise brands. So solopreneurs really neglect the website. And my advice as a marketing coach is that you get one up and you update it at least every 6 months, at the very least every 6 months. Every time you win an award, every time you speak somewhere, you need to be posting updated photos, because that helps with SEO as well, right?
Right. Yep. It's by page. You add a new page, even for PR placements. You get interviewed in the news. You get a spot in anything. Upload it to your website. Everything. All your updates should be housed on your website, and it also helps customers keep up with everything too. And it can, in addition to reviews too, reputation's a big part of it, and PR is a big part of it. And when you house that on your website, they're going to say, oh, wow, they won these awards. Oh, wow, they were in this newspaper. And it really does. It ups your reputation.
Well, that's very interesting, because I have lots of reviews. I just crossed 100 recommendations in LinkedIn.
Yeah. Wow, that is awesome. Yes.
It's awesome, but they're not on my website.
There's so much you can do to make the most of them. Reviews don't have to stay in one place. Like, post them on your social media, they'll pull them to your website. There are tools that can pull these reviews to your website. You don't even have to like touch it. It's automatic.
Oh, I need to know more about that. Thank you, Lizzie, for that.
Yes.
So you used to be in PR as well for franchising. So when we come back, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, let's talk more about how PR can help a brand.
Great.
We'll be right back. Okay, we are back. So now let's talk a little bit about PR.
Yes.
How many years did you spend in the PR space?
Also about 5.
5 years. Okay. So what does PR? So back in the day, when you was a baby, PR was a press release faxed to multiple. You know what a fax machine is?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Fax to multiple media outlets, hoping to get landing in a print copy, magazine or newspaper. What is PR today for a brand?
Yeah, I mean, there's still print, but almost everything is digital. Even all the newspapers, most of their subscribers are digital now, and we have so much more to it. PR also, it includes influencer marketing, so social media is a part of that. And there are just so many more different components now, I think, than there used to be. It's not all black and white. And when it comes to franchises as well, there's national PR and then there's local PR, which is also where I see quite a gap sometimes in the franchising space, is that utilizing that local PR beyond a grand opening. It's not just when the franchisee opens their stores, but ongoing. There's so much coverage they could be getting that I don't often see that happening.
That's a great point as well. And so I know you're not in the PR space, but I know you are keeping PR in mind when you're doing the website. How do they go together?
Yeah, well, like I said, pretty much everything you get in PR links back to the website, and then pretty much everything you get in PR should be housed somewhere on your website. So it is all interconnected. And I mean, I do PR now, just not for franchise brands. I do it for DevHub. And, for us, that means sharing our expertise and, maybe going to some of the franchise publications, to some of the industries we serve, and saying, hey, like, do you need an article on websites? Because we have all these tips that we can share. We have all this expertise that we can share. And that's a lot of what PR is. It depends on the industry, but a lot of times it's just something of value. That's what reporters want. And when it comes to local PR, like for franchisees, like we were talking about, like I said, a lot of franchisors will help support in the grand opening. They help get them the PR. They help get, news stations there, whatever it may be. But there's a lot ongoing that franchisees could be doing and that franchisors could equip them with, which is where I often see the gap. And yeah, like any sort of event, partnerships, there are all these opportunities, like getting involved in your local chamber of commerce, which I know a lot of franchisees already do, but utilizing it other than just going to the meetings. There's so many ways that you could build relationships through networking and partnerships. There's just so much more they could be doing. Yes, I saw your smile.
Yes, you are totally speaking my language.
Yes.
Just advertising that you went somewhere and that you interacted maybe with somebody important is PR for your business. It's just putting your name and your brand in front of people.
Right.
And so, on that note, how has networking helped you in your business?
Yeah, networking has helped immensely. And one of the biggest things I've done this year is just market research. Like we're saying, like I said before, we're always improving. We've been in the franchise space for such a long time, but there's always more to learn, and we just going to learn more about the gaps. I'm doing all of the networking calls I can, whether it's with other suppliers, whether it's with franchisors. We can learn from each other. We can collaborate. I just hosted a webinar with franchisors and suppliers alike. There are just so many opportunities. You never know what can come with networking. This interview I'm doing right now came out of networking, and LinkedIn especially has been such a useful tool for me. And for getting DevHub's name out there in the franchising space, and for getting people to really understand what we do, what makes us different, and how ultimately we can help franchisees succeed and with franchisee growth. And again, there's just so much to it. So much can come out of networking. And I see a lot of people that are spending a lot of money on paid ads, and that's good. We always recommend both of them. You have your paid stuff, and then you have your earned stuff, which is your PR, your networking, all of that. And you definitely should have a good mix in there. It's just that I see paid utilized more than I see the earned side.
Yeah, the grassroots side is not dead. And in
Right.
fact, it lasts so much longer. These relationships last. Now, so there's a lesson in how Lizzie and I met. So let me share that. So we are both engaged with the Women in Franchising Network. They do a monthly Clubhouse. They're one of the ones still left on Clubhouse. And so I went on Clubhouse. Lizzie was there. I think I made a comment, or maybe she made a comment. I don't remember, but one of us commented, and we both went to each other's LinkedIn, connected, and got on a one-to-one. This is how you build relationships. You don't just go on these calls, hear people, and then like, oh, that was nice.
Yes.
No, you
follow up.
Find the person on social. You send them a DM. Loved your comment on the Clubhouse today. How about we hop on a Zoom call so we can help each other? And that's what Lizzie and I did. Yet she had an event on Wednesday. I came to her event. I had an event yesterday. She came to my event. And here we sit on a video cast. Y'all, this is this is what I teach your franchisees and entrepreneurs. This is how you really show up. Will we exchange money at some point? Absolutely. Well, she might become a member of my NIA. I might get them to look at my website. I don't know, and it doesn't matter today.
Right.
What matters is the relationship is here. And she's already said, I keep saying my friend Tony, and she just met me a week ago. So I love it, Lizzie.
Right. I've had people reach out to me like, there might not be an opportunity to do anything together at this very moment. I've had people reach out to me even like 2-3 years later, and they're like, hey, remember we met at this event 3 years ago? We're looking for a guest to come on this, and you'd be great for this, or whatever it may be. Like, just start the relationship. It doesn't take much.
It does not. It just takes intention.
Right.
And it's drastic to hear somebody on a audio call. Go find them and say, I want to connect with you, and invite them off of social onto a Zoom call. She's in Chicago. I'm in Houston. So you guys, this is gold. It is gold, but not enough entrepreneurs, especially franchisees, are doing this. So thank you so much, Lizzie, for this conversation. I appreciate you. Tell everybody how to get in touch with you.
Yeah, sure. You can get in touch with me with my email, which is just lizzie@devhub.com. As I mentioned, I'm super active on LinkedIn. Definitely connect with me on there. Send me a message, or I'll send you a message, and I'd love to hop on a one-on-one with you as well. Franchisors or suppliers, if you're going to be at the IFA convention, I will also be here. The DevHub team will also be there. So get in touch beforehand. We'll meet up.
Well, then we will get a big hug at
Yes.
IFA. I cannot wait to meet you in person.
Me
Thank you
too.
so much, Lizzie, for coming on and sharing your wisdom about PR and websites and how those marketing strategies can help entrepreneurs and franchise professionals to grow their business. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with my final thoughts. That's right. My formula for marketing success is show up, be up, follow up to blow up. Pick up the book today at showuptoblowup.com. Get your copy. It's a direct link to the Amazon page. Order your book and show up. And digital showing up on your website is critical. Get your website up, keep it updated. And I know it's a challenge, especially for those of us who are solopreneurs or have small teams. And so, but do it. Take extra time. You're just going to say, this Sunday afternoon, I'm going to go through my website with a fine-tooth comb and update it so that it is not out of date and not representing me currently. I appreciate you so much for continuing to watch our show. Please share with your network. Sharing is caring. And then if you're interested in joining me on the show, send me a quick DM and let's talk about what's possible. This is Tony Harris Taylor saying, take a drastic step today for a fantastic tomorrow. And we will see you next week. Bye.
With Tony Harris Taylor.